2019 in Canada, a respectable country, beautiful people, and equality all the same. But anywho, I'm here to narrate another story for you on another episode of Sophia's Storybooks. Today's story originates about 90 years back to a time where Canada was immensely different. We're going to be following along with one of the members of a group of highly renowned, unimpressionable women known as the Flappers. They wanted to be treated like a man, as the difference in sexes at the time was, well, immensely different. Oh my, well look at you. Someone calls you pretty is nothing more than a compliment. You don't have to pay for the body that you were born in. How I wish I could be able to say the same. This mere flower had more rights than women ever did in the beginning of the 20th century and hundreds of years before that. For instance, women had only gained the right to vote in federal elections in 1918, and still they were seen as property rather than as human beings with equal rights and values. Luckily for us, after the newfound right to vote and the revelations during the First World War between 1914 and 1918, the Flappers were born, embodying an era of rebellion during the Roaring 20s. During this time, stereotypes varying from personality traits to physical appearance, domestic behaviors, and appropriate occupations all began to reshape. I've seen the outcome of this here war. Men dying left and right, women being left without a man to marry, jobs being vacated, and those who do come back are amputees, blind, or worse. To hell with it all. Life is too short for this. Why do I have to stay home to cook, clean, and watch the kids? I'd rather be out partying, drinking, smoking, and dancing. Why should I have to wear corsets, stockings, and below-knee dresses? Uncomfortable. What if I don't want long feminine hair? I'd rather rock the bob. In terms of walking, why tire myself out if a car and a bike exist? If I want to work as a mechanic and not a teacher, I can. I'm going to do as I damn well please, and there's no longer anything any man or outdated woman can do or say to stop me. Their defiant streak ended up spreading throughout Canada very quickly, and as a result, they ended up being some of the prime movers of liberalism. The idea that individual freedoms and rights should overpower intense governmental control, directly corresponding to societal norms existing at this time. It seems that in addition to freedoms for women as a whole, the Flappers had the ability to begin to alter classes in society. As the typical female silhouette that originated from shorter hemlines, dropped waistlines, and intense tailoring became less popular, so did the appearance differences between women of higher classes when compared to those of lower classes. You're telling me that only people of substance can dress nicely? As previously mentioned, fashion was a large contributor to the immense prioritization of leisurely activity, as women were no longer being restrained. A byproduct of this was the idea that women who chose to do so could now begin to dance more fast-paced pieces of choreography that required free movement of the body, such as the Charleston and the Black Bottom. Woohoo! They would do so by attending entertainment venues such as speakeasies where alcohol would be sold. Hey Walter, how about an out of the town? Inevitably, as with any act of rebellion, there were older generations from the Victorian era that felt offended by the notions that the Flappers deemed to be appropriate. At times they were correct, as certain actions taken by young adults and teenagers in the movement could be seen as dangerous because of how openly they flaunted their sexuality. No, little girl, don't be brainless and inconsiderate. But this is so exhilarating! Unfortunately, the Roaring 20s came to an end in 1929 when the Great Depression struck both New York and Canada, leaving millions unemployed. With the drastic decline in the economy also came the eradication of the Flapper era, as there was an increased intolerance for their lifestyle. And now we deal with more segregation. Fun. Had they not had the courage to have done what they did, society today would still be in an unbelievably segregated loaf for women. I can't imagine not being able to do things such as ride a bike all because I was born a girl. There is no doubt in my mind that the Flappers have innovated the women's rights movement and provided opportunities both artistically and liberally for all types of women today. Whether it be Coco Chanel in fashion or the it girl Clara Bow, they have brought an interesting pop of color to our history, both figuratively and literally. And with that, we're going to close off the topic of the Flappers, and I bid you farewell until next time on Sophia's Storybooks.